When we can move the experience or the energy and the feeling from over here, from in the future, into how we feel now, that's how we collapse time. The way we become a vibrational match for anything, even money, is because we are in the energy of already having it. Hello everybody, welcome to the Lucy Superfox Show. In this week's episode, we are going to dive into how to rewrite your money mindset and fast. So without further ado, let's dive in. So if right now I wanted to rewrite my money story and change the story that I've been telling around what's possible for me, around how my life is, around how money works for me, these are some of the things that I would be focused on. Number one, I would get really clear about all the bullshit lies that I am telling about what's possible. So many of us are living in an identity of our past. We're living in who we've been, what's been hard for us, how things have been, that's not allowing us to move into who we actually want to be. The number one thing people underestimate when it comes to money mindset is the environment we spend our time in. And that environment includes everything from the content you consume on social media, the people you spend your time with, what you watch on TV, who you hang out with, and even where you go for your daily walk. And if you're not getting a daily walk in, you want to be doing that. So when we come to change, when we come to shift our identity, but our environment is playing back to us old versions of ourselves over who we used to be, what we used to believe and what we used to think, it's really difficult to shift and change. It's really difficult to move forward because the truth of it is our old life is being reflected back to us constantly. And whatever happens constantly is what shows up consistently and is why we don't ever really experience change. So if we're looking to shift our money mindset and to rewrite our money story about what's possible for us, then we have to first address the environment and the energy that we're spending our time in. So I would love you to do a little money audit. I want you for the next 24 hours after listening to this podcast to look at all the spaces you hang out in, all the people that you talk to, all the environments that you walk past and all the things you consume. And I want you to keep a tally chart. And on the left-hand side of the tally chart is all the things that are keeping you in a past life, in a lack life, in a life that there's not enough. And on the right-hand side, all the things that are future-focused, positive, abundant, wealthy. And I want you to look at where the weight is. And I can absolutely guarantee you that the left-hand side of that chart is so full and so heavy and reflecting your previous life to you over and over and over and over. So when we really want to create change in any area of life, but specific when it comes to money, we have to start stepping into the right side of that chart. We have to start creating an environment and spending time with people and consuming content and energy of the life that we want, of the abundance that we want, of the wealth that we want. And we can't do that if we keep telling stories of who we've been and how life has been. So the first step to rewriting your money story is recognizing what story you're actually telling. We often believe that because we want something, we've done enough to move into that energy. We've done enough to be that person. Like wanting it is enough. But the truth is, wanting something can come from two different places. It can come from, I need it because I don't have it, or it can come from, I want it because it would be fun. And they are completely different energetic vibrations. So when we want something, we first have to get really clear on where is that energy coming from? Is it coming from that place of lack and need? Or is it coming from that genuine deep desire and because I really think it'd be amazing to have it? But when we're living in that past version of our life and we're seeing that play out for us over and over and over, it's usually coming from that place of need. But when it's coming from that energy, all we're seeing is the gap. We're seeing the distance between where we are and where we want to be. We're seeing that we want more money because we don't have it, rather than because it would be fun or because it would be amazing. And when our life is reflecting back to us who we've been and how hard things are and how difficult life is, it's impossible. And in fact, I'm going to use that word. It's impossible to move forward. So in order to rewrite your money story, you have got to get clear on what story you are actually telling. So once you've done that, and this will be a culture shock, my friends, you will literally be like, oh my gosh. And I've done this even with me because it happens at every level, right? As the saying goes, every level new devil. And I really believe that's true because at every level that we want to elevate to, whether it's in money or body or business or wealth or even love, we have to become a different version of ourselves, and therefore we have to overcome different traumas, different stories, and we have to build different identities and different belief systems. So when it comes to rewriting our money story, rewriting the current story is the first step. The second step is once we've got clear on the what we want and the why we want it, so the need versus the desire energy, we then need to get really clear on the passion, the connection. what that's going to do for us. We're so focused sometimes on the money itself, right? That somehow money is the catch-all. But money is usually an enabler. It's the thing that we want at the end of the money, right? So we want more money because we want the freedom. We want more money because we want the holiday. We want more money because we want the choices. So the next step is to get clear on the outcome, the end result, the feeling or the experience. Because when we can move the experience or the energy and the feeling from over here, from in the future, into how we feel now, that's how we collapse time. The way we become a vibrational match for anything, even money, is because we are in the energy of already having it. But when we are living in a past identity of ourselves and knowing we want something and even knowing why we want it, we're actually still living in the past version of ourselves. And so energetically, we're getting the same thing over and over, over and over, over and over. So the second step, once we've got clear on that story, right, the story we're currently telling, and the why and the what for the new story, is to actually think about what it is we're craving, what it is you're seeking, what it is you want to feel. Because when you can really, really know and grasp what that feeling is and step into that feeling now and imagine what that would be like now and be in that energy now, that is when the magic happens. The magic isn't out there, right? The magic isn't in, the affirmations. The magic isn't in the tally chart I've asked you to do. The magic isn't in this podcast. The magic is in you. You are the reason or the reason not that you achieve your goals, receive the money, change your life. You are the reason. You are the magic. So when you can feel into the energy of your future, the person you want to be, the life you want to have, how it's going to feel, and you can allow yourself to feel safe to do that for that short period of time, 20 seconds, then you stretch to 30 seconds, then all the way to 15 minutes of feeling what that would be like, what you then do is become a magnet for the magic. You become a magnet for the money because you're in the energy as if it's already happened. Step number 3, when you want to rewrite your money story and get those results fast, is you have got to take action. Now, I would never call myself a manifestation teacher or coach, but I'm somebody that knows the power and the magic of manifestation. And no manifestation is a passive process. We don't sit around and go, I want to manifest $10 million. Like, that's not how this works. Manifestation is an active process. So you've done the first bit, you've got really clear, you've got rid of all the bullshit stories. You're like, okay, that isn't true. You've worked out where you're re-triggering yourself. You've worked out where in your environment is confusing. You've then felt what it would feel like to be in your future self, to be in that body, to be in that person. So you're like, okay, step 1, step 2. Step 3 is then taking the action steps to move to that future self. Now, you aren't going to have to do all the work. You aren't going to have to take every step and every leg work, right? But we do live in a 3D reality. We live in a world where we have time, we have space, we have stuff to move, whether it's as simple as opening a new bank account might be the only move you need to make. But there are going to be moves that you need to make in order to move towards rewriting that money story and getting those fast results. So taking action looks like a lot of things. And depending on what your path of least resistance around money is, lots of ideas will come. And those ideas might not come until you've done step 1 and you've done step 2. But money normally flows to us in what's called the path of least resistance. So that means the energy that we're most accepting of, most understanding of, or feels most normal to us. So as a coach, if I wanted to manifest more money in a set period of time, it would normally be the thing that I'm most invested in at that time. If I was launching a one-to-one program, I'd probably be open to receiving more clients through that way. If it was a course I was selling, I'd probably be more open to receiving clients from that process. And so what I want you to know is that the money will usually flow in the path of least resistance. But the way that you can help yourself get there and open yourself up to receiving money from different channels, because it's not about making money, my friends, it's about receiving it. The way you can move into that energy of receivership, step 1, step 2, is by taking that inspired action. So when you get the nudge to post that thing on Instagram, do it. When you get the nudge to phone that, person up and get the plumber in to fix the tap, just do it. You never know who that plumber might introduce you to and what happens next. When you have that next conversation with a school mum, she says, hey, I'm really curious about your business, and you don't tell her because some reason you think she was just being nice, you're going against what are those inspired, perfect actions. The universe isn't a postman with checks, right? The universe is an enabler and a facilitator when we become a vibrational match for the things that we desire. And it will always bring those desires to us in the path of least resistance. So if you want to rewrite your money story and fast, you have got steps. 1, you've got to get clear on the story you're currently telling and get clear on all the reasons it's just not true. Number 2, you've got to get clear on what you want and why, and what the energy of your future self with that money, with that abundance feels like. And step number 3, you've got to take inspired action. So if this resonated and landed, you are right now ready for your wealthy and abundant era. You can find the links below to my super low cost ebooks, my free money masterclass, my free money meditation, which are resources for you to help you do exactly that. So for more on money, don't forget to go to lucysuperfox.com/money, where you can find the money program, Money, Master and Manifest, that's on sale right now with a 6-month payment plan. So I am wishing you all the wealth and abundance in the world, and I will see you on the next episode.